Ryan here with Dark Rangers Inc. And today we have a cool review of a product that's just going live, probably at the time this video is coming out, and that is Primaluce's latest upgrade, the Sesto Senso 3, which is an electronic autofocus. Now, after you buy a telescope, a mount, and a camera, this is probably the first accessory that I'd recommend and one of the most important, because the one thing that you cannot fix in post-processing for the most part is focus. As temperature drops throughout the night, you get shifts in focus, and this is going to monitor that and run autofocus routines throughout the night. Now, the big problem with this review is I really like the previous generation. I have one on my 140 and also on my 102. So both scopes have had it. I've also tried the ZWO, the QHY, and the Pegasus. So I have experience with almost all of them. And I really like the Primaluce for a couple of reasons. One, it works really well with ghost mode with the Eagle. If you have that, it has the ability to connect via its Wi-Fi. The base model electronic autofocusers, the ones in that like $199 price point, typically don't have Wi-Fi. This does. And then the resolution is really high on these. And so when I went out to Italy and actually toured the factory, first of all, the whole place is like a clean room. It's a group of people. They're all dressed up in the Primaluce gear and everything is meticulously laid out. And they are so fanatic about their testing that they actually had to come up with new instruments to test the resolution on some of their products, meaning how tight the change in focus is, because there was nothing out on the marketplace existing to actually keep up with the quality standards for Primaluce and Filippo, the owner.
We had also to create our own calibration machines that they had to be more precise than the Eagle itself, as, for example, or to be more precise than the Esatto.
So when he reached out to me, I thought to myself, that's going to be the hardest part, is how do you improve on a design that I've had literally zero issues with? It did solve the only hiccup that I had with this one, and that is that it does need a different adapter depending on the focuser you have. So this has the Feather Touch 3.5. The 102 has the Stellarvue 3-inch focuser, and so they both needed a different adapter. This gives you 4 different size focusers that'll work with, that'll pretty much cover any focuser that you could use. This one currently works now with no adapter, but there's 3 different gaskets that'll fit pretty much any type of APO scope that you have, and they also have a version for SCT style scopes, so for reflectors, and then they even have one that works with helical style focusers like a camera lens or like the original Red Cat, where before it went to the rack and pinion, it had that helical barrel style focuser. So they have one that works with that as well, and I'm actually going to reach out and ask for that because I do have a 70-200 that I use, and I just haven't run autofocus on it, and that's been kind of a big miss. So every hour or two I'd go out until I'd finally fall asleep, and then it would just run, and that's usually when the temperature would drop the most and I would lose focus. On top of solving the adapter issue and making sure that this will fit any scope that you have, they've also increased the resolution even further. So the space between steps is going to be even tighter, so when you do the calibration, you'll be able to fine-tune your focus even more than you were in the past, and it's just overall a really nice, robust system. So we're going to go ahead and install it. We'll go over the features, and the one thing that I really want to share that I'm sure all of you are wondering is, well, what's going to happen to the price? They've made it better. They've made it more adaptable to other scopes. It's a new unit. The original one came out many years ago. We've had inflation, tariffs, all sorts of things. The price is actually going to stay the same at $299. And that's actually right in line with the ZWO Pro model and some of the other higher end ones that actually have Wi-Fi. I've been recommending the Sesto Senso 2 now for several years when folks call me for a build consultation. And I think this is going to be a really nice update. So what we'll do is I'll show you guys what's in the box. We'll go over how to install it. You do have to install all the drivers and whatnot. That's really simple. We'll cover that quickly. And then tonight we'll go ahead and actually test it so I can share with you guys how well it actually works, because that's obviously the most important thing. All right, let's take a look at what comes in the box. We have our typical packaging that we know from Primaluce. Inside, we've got our owner's manual. The nice thing about this, yep, it does have the, as you can see, hand-checked and signed off, kind of a quality control and inspection. We've got really nice directions, obviously with some photos to make things a little bit easier. We've got the normal packaging with kind of the cardboard surrounding it. Here's the actual unit itself, Primaluce Sesto Senso, and then it's got the little number on there. That number on the end is going to signify the actual Wi-Fi signal. We've got the connection for the Arco if you have the rotator, which I do on one of my scopes, the power in, and then the USB-C. And then it looks like there's one other input probably for the temperature gauge. It does look like it already has one of the rubber inserts in there to fit different size focusers. And then we have a couple others. So you could run it with no insert, the one that's in there, this one or this one. So basically 4 different sizes. And then we have the USB and the power cord. And then we also have the little attachments that go on the focuser, which we'll see when we go ahead and do the install. But we'll pop outside and get this thing installed. All right, let's get this thing physically installed. Now, I do have already a USB-C and a power cord that I'm just going to use. So I'm going to take off the old one. And you have to loosen that one. And then there's also the 2 that attach right here. Let me try to... So there's these guys, there's 2 of them. I'm going to rotate the other side of the focuser so you can see. Oop, there's one, there's the other. So I'm going to move the camera back, but that's what I'm removing. So those are going to be some little guys. I think this little multi-tool has the right size. I'm just going to loosen. I don't take it all the way out. I just need enough to be able to pull off the little boot that's on there. Okay, so then that slides right off. Now, here is the old adapter. As you can see, it's an extended one. I'm gonna see if I can get away with keeping that on just for simplicity. But if not, because the new style doesn't use adapters, I'll probably have to swap it out for the right size one that comes with the kit. So the first thing I'm gonna do is taking it out, identify, do I need an adapter? Yeah, I'm gonna have to take that off, it looks like. What I'm trying to do is see the diameter and see what the fit looks like. So it's looking like I'm either not going to need a shim or I'm going to need one of the really thin ones. Oop, that's an even thinner one. So you'll see what I'm saying. This is kind of an extended one. And with the old Sesto, for different size, you needed. So there's the new one. Here's the old one here. Here's the new one. And so it basically kind of has that extension built in. So I'm going to go into the goodie bag here. I'm going to grab this. These are all the adapters. Looks like they do include tools, which I always think is a really nice touch. So well done, Primaluce. And then we just have to see, I can tell it's probably going to be the gold one. Yeah. So basically there's all different sizes. They're color coded. So the gold one just fits on with pretty much no wiggle. So if I try to do a smaller one, it won't go on there. And then this is going to be fun. I need to carefully, without losing it, grab one of these grub screws. Now again, this is probably, I would say it's about as easy as some of the other models, but we don't have that plate that I have to screw in and have it hold it. It always just feels suboptimal to me. I just like the way you got this big chunky metal area for it to grab onto, and I really just like using that over some metal bar. So I'm gonna put number 1 in. I'm just gonna get it started, and then little baby grub screw number 2. All right. We'll tighten it all the way down now. The grub screw shouldn't be poking out. If it is, you might want to probably try a different barrel size, inner diameter. And there, now it's on there. I don't go crazy, but it's got to be a tight enough grip to actually turn. That same kind of style where we got to fit the barrel adjuster, there's a little screw through there that we have to put on. But first, I want to see, do we need an adapter? And it's looking like we're probably not. So for all you guys that have the Stellarvue telescopes, yeah. So what I've done is I've tightened it. This thing is not moving at all. So I'm gonna go ahead, now that I've test fit it, I'm gonna loosen it, and I'm gonna throw the slightly larger diameter grub screw into that barrel, into the red barrel through this little slot on the bottom. So what you can do is you can just take your finger and kind of put it in there and rotate it until you can see it. And then don't drop the grub screw like I just did. Okay, so now that I have the hole facing right through there, I'm gonna come up through the bottom And again, I'm just gonna get it started. If I go too far, it won't allow me to slide onto here. And then there should be 2, yep. So now I gotta grab one more. And they do give extra, guys, so if you drop one, it's not life or death, but you definitely want to hang on to these because, you know, they just come in handy. Got the second one, go ahead and start that. And now I'm going to put it on there. I'm gonna have it so that all the plugins are just kind of facing up towards the eagle. I've got my eagle up there. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is kind of push this into the focuser a little bit, and then I'm going to tighten the 2 larger grub screws that I put into the barrel, and they will connect to that gold piece that I put on the end of the focuser. And so now what I'm gonna do is I'm twisting the big end of the focuser, and I'm making sure that it's rotating the red barrel in there. So now the gold barrel is rotating the red barrel, and now all I have to do is tighten down this guy at the angle that I want it. And then I'm just gonna double check. Yep, okay, so it's rotating it. Now you can use, if you already have the previous generation, your existing, or the ones that are supplied, USB-C, and then the 12-volt power, and then I have these plugged into the Eagle a little further up the imaging train. Okay, normally you'd go to the website where Primaluce has a whole great website for all of the drivers and downloads for all the software, but he sent them to me via email, obviously, because this wasn't available yet. As you can see, I'm just downloading each file individually from the email that he sent me. And so really it's 3 packages that you're going to want to install if you have an Eagle. You want the Eagle X software update. You're going to want the new version of the Play software update, and that's something that you'll need whether you have an Eagle or a regular computer. And then, of course, you'll need the driver for the Sesto Senso 3. So I went ahead and just did it in that order. I downloaded the whole Eagle X system first, install that, and it's going to give you a thing that pops up, and then you double click on the .exe icon, click run anyway, and then just download each one of those 3, and it'll be 3 separate things. And then you're going to hop into the actual Play Store and then connect it in the Play Store before you connect it in N.I.N.A. Now, one thing that I really like about this one is the calibration system. So what it used to do is slowly back out the motor and sense how far it had of travel before it would run out, and then you'd have a number system. Now you can just manually go outside and turn the focuser, and it would go really slow on the auto version, so the manual is much faster. And as you manually turn the course knob on your focuser, the motor is reading the amount of revolutions there are. And so it really quickly, as you can see, we have just under 200,000 individual data points that it can use for the focus. And so after you download the program updates, you download the drivers, go ahead and calibrate it in the Play Store, and then connect in N.I.N.A and use like any other electronic autofocus. All right, guys, it's the next morning. Got my morning coffee going here, and I was just looking at some of the photos from last night to make sure that as the autofocus routine ran throughout the night, everything went well. I did screen record and then screenshot the first couple just to kind of show you guys how it went. And so I'll go ahead and play that, and I'll fast forward through it. Now, it did start a little bit worse because I just installed the focuser, so you can see the first thing it took was at 6.5 roughly HFR. And what we're looking for is just a nice smooth curve. As you can see, we have the parabolic rating of 1.0. That's kind of the perfect curve. And as we go, we want to be as close to that as possible. Anything, kind of over 0.9 is really pretty good. And as we go through, you can see it's just giving us a nice steady curve, smaller and smaller, until we ultimately find the bottom point right here. We're at 0.99, and then it ultimately goes back up. So you can adjust these settings as well to kind of help fine tune it. I just kind of left it what I had, and then you can see the estimated end HFR at 1.7. I also did a filter switch. I went to the S2 filter, and you can see it went to 1.75, and the final was 1.7 something. It looks like it cut off. But I checked throughout the night. I did 7-minute exposures of SHO, So I did about 55 or 60 frames. It did do the autofocus routine every time the filter switched, and sometimes if it needed it during the filter run. And the photos looked great all night, didn't have any issues, luckily no clouds. And so from a quality standpoint and performance, it did fantastic as I kind of expected it to. So if you are looking to either get a new autofocus or upgrade from your current one, I think this is a phenomenal choice. Given the fact that it has more features and flexibility now that it'll basically fit any apo scope. They do again have a version for a helical style focuser as well as an SCT. So if you have something like an Edge 8 or Edge 14 HD, they have a model for that as well. And given the fact that the price has stayed the same, I mean, if you think about the fact that the Sesto 2 came out several years ago and everything's gone up so much in price, but they've kept it the same. The only pushback I ever got from anything Primaluce was, hey, I know the quality's there. I know it's made in Italy. I know everything's inspected. It's not like a mass-produced China thing, is that the price is a little bit higher. But as the other guys have crept up and you're seeing prices stay consistent with them, it now makes it a complete no-brainer in my opinion. A lot of the other either higher end or pro models are in that $300 price range as well. And so for me, you know, especially given the way that Primaluce backs their products and their customer support, if you didn't see my factory review where I actually was in Italy and toured it, I'd suggest that you watch it. But every single support email that you send gets responded to by the owner, Filippo, and he's very quick. You got to give him the fact that there's a big time zone difference for us in the US, but you will have a response within the next day. And he is on it. The whole team there is fantastic. And so, you know, definitely would recommend this. I think if you have the Sesto Senso 2, that's still a great focuser. But if you are getting a new scope, or maybe you have a different brand that you're not happy with, definitely give this a look. If you can use the link in the description, it does help the channel. And if you can use any of those links for any of your purchases, it really does help. And I have a backlog of reviews to do. So I'm going to try to get these out in quicker succession. And so you should see more of those reviews here in the near future. But guys, hopefully you get a chance to check this out. And until the next one, as always, clear skies.